I do love a genuinely incompetent movie. Uh, I've mentioned before that earnestness is very important in making a good bad movie, and what I just watched is a good bad movie. And that movie was Ben and Arthur. This has been hailed as sort of a the new The Room for LGBT cinema, and yeah, pretty much. Actually, I think it was more similar to something like Birdemic because of the way it was shot, and because The Room actually has really high production quality. He actually, part of the story of The Room is that he spent way, way too much money on all the equipment, which raised the budget significantly, and that's why it looks okay. But these guys were really filming with, whatever HD cameras were laying around, which looks more like Birdemic. It really looks and sounds like Birdemic in that the sound editing sucks. Not quite as dramatically, but still bad. Um, the acting is also, particularly the main guy, who I guess is, I don't remember, he's either Ben or Arthur, one of them, I think it was Arthur. Um, his acting is atrocious. There's also a few of the accessory people are really bad. The guy that plays his brother, who is the crazy religious person, which is just, yeah, whatever. Plot wise, Ben and Arthur are a gay couple that want to get married, and they're going to Hawaii to get married, and then Hawaii's marriage thing gets challenged or something, and they can't do it, so they go to Vermont instead. They get married. Ben quits his job because he got mildly frustrated with a poorly acted customer, which means that he has to find another job. He fails to find another job, and then he asks his long-estranged brother for money. His brother is a highly, highly conservative Christian who demands basically him stop being gay, and he'll give him money. He is so over the top. Not quite over the top acted enough, but the character is written to be way over the top. So, meanwhile, we find out that Ben, I guess, is the other one, has left his wife when he came out of the closet, and his wife has not dealt well and refuses to acknowledge it and won't grant him a divorce, but I guess she does because they get married, but they never talk about that. Anyway, she shows up with a gun and is like, there's some great dialogue, great bad dialogue here. He's like, I'm gay, we're not going to get remarried. I thought they weren't divorced. Anyway, she's like, well, that's fine, I'll be gay too, and then everything will be fine, and we can get married again. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of dialogue that doesn't make sense, things that don't make sense. But anyway, she disappears from the movie after that. She pretty much exists to deliver Chekhov's gun into the movie, which I thought was hilarious. She is Chekhov's gun delivery. She shows up, she wrestles the gun away from her, and then they have a gun. Oh, good, I wonder if that comes back. So then the brother keeps doing really weird things where he invites them over for dinner with one of his other religious friends and insists that they are not gay, and then they're like, no, we're kind of gay. We're totally gay here. And then he gets really angry, and then more just bad things. And then things just escalate progressively. The religious brother kills their lawyer for reasons after hiring a private investigator to learn things. I still don't understand why he killed the lawyer. That I'm not going to think too deeply on this movie. The soundtrack is really bizarre. The ending is MIDI music. The beginning is sounds like an ice cream jingle, and in the middle there's random techno music and really whatever they can get a hold of. Anyway, the religious brother keeps doing things. He hires a hitman through his church. Okay, and then apparently Arthur, or Ben, the one not related to the bad guy, is shot in the head and dies, I think, and is laying in his apartment apparently dead, and then the other one comes in and is like, oh no, Ben, right, Ben's the one that got shot, I think. And he's like, no, no, no. And then the police go to the brother's house and they inquire because they say that, oh, he's injured or something. Basically, the brother assumes he's dead, and it turns out he's not, even though we had no reason to think he wasn't dead. So yeah, Ben is in the hospital, and then Arthur somehow connects that his brother hired a hitman or something to kill them, and then traces it back to his brother's priest, who has since kicked his brother out of the church because of his relationship to the gays. So the priest basically hooks him up with the hitman, so because he says he'll kill his gay brother to get back in the church. What the hell kind of church is this? Yeah, so he sets the priest on fire. He goes into the church, pretends to be some new member, and then sets him on fire. That doesn't come back. Apparently no one becomes aware that the priest was set on fire. It's totally irrelevant to everything. So the brother shows up with one of his goons, and then tells the goons, nope, don't need you, and then sends him away out of the movie forever. He then actually kills Ben this time, when he opens the door. Every time they open the door and something bad's happening, they never actually look out the little viewfinder hole. One time, I think, in the whole movie, they actually look, and that's the one time it's not something horrible coming to kill them. So yeah, he actually dies this time, we assume. Maybe he's just incapable of dying, and there's a side plot to this. Anyway, the final sequence involves forced baptism, some really odd erotic-ish, and that not erotic at all, incesty stuff, and then some really bad blood effects, and everybody dies. The end. Cue MIDI music. So that's the whole plot. This is one I'll recommend. Even knowing how this thing goes, it's astounding to watch it unfold. And I missed a bunch of details in there. I'm sure that's just sort of the general overview. Everything about this is worth watching. This is just one of those that's like a train wreck that you just want to see, you want to diagnose it and see what went wrong here. Every little piece of this movie that just went awry, because there's no competent part of the movie, really. The guy that plays Ben is okay, and that's about it. All their extras, I think there's one point where the woman who plays their lawyer is holding a document saying that this is the laws for being married, and it's really clear that what is in her hand is the script, and she's reading it. It's embarrassing. Do some more shots, guys. You have to reshoot that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's mostly just atrocious. Heavy-handed messaging, again. This is like the opposite of the Omega Code with the heavy-handed messaging. Just the Christians portrayed in this are so unrealistic. No church is like this. Not even the Westboro Baptist Church. I don't think they have a hitman on speed dial. Yeah, it's really offensive about that. I don't know what's up with that. It is a bad movie, a very, very bad movie, but I actually enjoyed watching it. There were some definite laughing moments because everyone compares this to The Room. I think it's more like Birdemic. If you could handle watching Birdemic and enjoy all the crappy effects and crappy acting and crappy dialogue and that's what this is. This is Birdemic without the CG birds, basically. And instead of environmental message, it's LGBT gay marriage message. That's what this movie is. I recommend it. It, I believe, is hanging on YouTube somewhere. So I would recommend watching it. It might be a little hard to watch without other people to riff on it with. It is super boring because nothing really happens. But once things do start happening, it goes so far over the top. It's amazing. So that's Ben and Arthur for you.
The public has long awaited the final decision of the Court of Hawaii, and the courts have voted yes. Homosexuals do have the right to get married.
If we ever get into a war and they draft my ass, the first thing I'm going to tell them is if I'm not good enough to get married in this country, then I sure as hell ain't dying for it.
Damn it, Arthur! I need to know that I can count on you.
I mean, are you still a homosexual, is what I mean.
We have ways to cure that for you. If you just join us for Bible study.
How dare you talk to your brother like that?
Your brother's a nut. Don't worry. What are you doing here?
Remember me?
Tammy, I'm gay. I've already told you that.
Then I'll be gay too, and then that'll make it right for us to get married again, huh?
No, I do not love you. Now get the fuck out of here!
And my heart, my stomach, my liver, everything. It just fell right out onto the floor.
The congregation is concerned that your brother's homosexuality may rub off on the children and send their souls straight to hell.
Well, you should probably find a church that knows the true meaning of love and understand it.
I'm willing to do anything. I mean, even the final deed to get accepted back into the church.
Hi. Yeah. I need an ambulance.